So this morning I want to talk to you about Sunday versus the Sabbath. How Sunday came about as a replacement for the Sabbath, or Shabbat as properly spoken. And it begins right here in Daniel 7. Verse 23. And then he said, "A fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth." That would be the Roman kingdom, which shall be different from all kingdoms, and shall eat and devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and shatter. Or it might be, they will tread it down and to be shattered. We'll see. The 10 horns out of this kingdom. Now, before the 10 horns was the 7 heads, which was the Julio-Claudius dynasty. Okay? The 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them. We've gone over this many times. And even some religions knows exactly what this means. It shall be different from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Well, the 3 kings which were subdued by the papacy were the Ostrogoths, Vandals, and Heruli. You can look it up for yourself. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, the name. Great words against the name. And they do. All of these Sunday worship, I'll get to that in just a second, about great words against the name. Okay? And shall wear out the Kodesh of the Most High. And try to change times and decrees. Okay? So, speak great words against the name. The name. Okay? I have showed you this many, many times. Where Martin Luther was pointing to the Catholic abomination graven image, where Martin Luther himself agreed with the Catholics, where he claims that the name was taken from the bowels of a sow. Okay? Now, the sculpture is one of the remaining examples in Germany of medieval Jew baiting in 1988 on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the Kristallnacht. Debate sprung about the monument, which resulted in the addition of a sculpture recognizing that during the Holocaust, 6 million Jews were murdered under the sign of the cross. So we know who the Kodesh is. We know who the subjected ones were. And we know who the murderers were and who were doing the subjecting. Okay? This is not hard to understand, folks. So, he shall speak great words against the Most High, against his name, and shall wear out the Kodesh of the Most High, and try to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand. That would be the Kodesh, be given into his hand, not for 3.5 years. That's not what it says. It says, even to a time, which just means a moment, situation, times. Does not mean a year. Now, right here they claim definite time equals a year, but it doesn't. See, if they try to make it 3.5 years, there's only 2 times that the word time is mentioned. Now, in number 1, in general, time as duration involving specific conditions. So it's not years. It says a set time, technically a year, a time. But the problem is, this has been going, okay, we read somewhere in here until, watch this. And verse 21 says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the Kodesh and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came. So it's clearly not talking about 3.5 years. You've got context right here, until the Ancient of Days came. So these Jews have been put under the feet of the beast of iron until the Ancient of Days came. So if you're wondering what this time, times and a half a time means, it's not even time, times and a half a time. Okay? They shall be given to his hand until a time. Does not say times. It just says time and half a time. So according to your own English vernacular, that would be 2.5 years. But if they would have bothered to read right up here, it says, the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came. That means from the time that the little horn rose up, the first thing that they did was made war with the Jews, the Kodesh, until the Ancient of Days came. Stop trying to make it say something it does not say and then overlook verse 22. Okay? Now, and intend. The word is intend, to think, intend, have every intention of, and the reason why the intention is there is because I will show you in a minute that he succeeded in some countries and did not succeed in others. Okay? Where did it go? And intend to change time and decrees. And they will be given into his hand until a time, times, and dividing a time, or if you want to make it uncomplicated, until the Ancient of Days comes. Well, Ancient of Days has not come yet. Okay? Now, what times and laws were they trying to change? Let's have a look here. Sunday is the first day for almost all countries in North and South America. Countries in Europe and Oceania consider Sunday the last day or the 7th day. So in North and South America, Sunday, as they say, is considered the first day of the week. Okay? So let's look a little further. And what is the name in honor of? The sun idol, or Baal, the enemy of Jehovah. The name Sunday, the name of the sun, is derived from Hellenistic astrology. Remember, it was the Hellenes under Antiochus IV who desecrated the temple in Jerusalem and placed the abomination of desolation in the temple. All right? Where the 7 planets, known in English as Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon, each had an hour of the day assigned to them on Sunday. So all the host of heaven that Jehovah told the ancient Israel, do not worship these like the Gentiles do. And the Gentiles never repented. And the planet, which was the regent during the first hour of any day of the week, gave its name to that day. During the 1st and 2nd centuries, the week of the 7 days was introduced into Rome from Egypt, and the Roman names of the planets were given for each successive day. Now, the Germanic people seem to have adopted the week as a division of time from the Romans, but they changed the Roman names and those of the corresponding Teutonic deities. Hence, Day Solis became Sunday, German Sonntag. The English noun Sunday derived somewhere before 1250 from Sunday, which itself is developed from Old English before 700, literally meaning the sun's day, as in the day of the sun. Okay. So, why are they doing this? And you can see right here that they did succeed in the old world to change the times. That's exactly what he was talking about. All right. Now, what day then was Yehoshua, not Jesus, crucified? I'm going to show you something, folks, that your church fathers lied to you, and that King James Version deceived you. But I'm going to expose King James Version deceit today. Now, if you want to know what the 7th day of the week really is, the Jews know the 7th day of the week. Now, your hatred or lack of hatred for the Jews will show whether you are interested in the truth or not. Mattityahu 28. No, not Matthew. His name was and still is Mattityahu. Yes, it sounds Hebrew because it is Hebrew. Now, as the Shabbat was ending, it began to dawn toward into the first day of the week. Mary Magdalene and the other Miriam Magdalene and the other Miriam came to see the sepulchre. As Shabbat was ending and as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week. Now, Shabbat ends in the evening. So, it's not dawn as in sunrise. No, it is near commencing. I'll show you some proof. They were already there to see the sepulchre, and there was a great earthquake, for the messenger of Jehovah, not the Lord, descended up from heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat upon it. The stone was already rolled back and he was already gone. As Shabbat was ending, he was already gone. Okay? His countenance was like lightning, and his clothing was white as snow. For the fear of him the keepers did shake, and fell down as dead men. And the messenger answered and said unto the women, Fear not, for I know you seek not Jesus, but Yehoshua. Not only did they seek to change the times and the laws, but names as well. The enemies of Yehoshua and Jehovah did this. The enemies of the Jews did this. Which was crucified, he is not here. He is already risen. In the end of the Shabbat, that would mean toward the evening as the sun was going down, as the first day of the week was about to commence, he was already gone. All right? You want more proof? Uh-oh, Henry, you are wrong. It says right here on the first day of the week, very early in the morning. No, it does not. It does not say that. King James Version lied to you. And I'm going to expose the lie today. But on the first Shabbat, the first Shabbat, that's the first Shabbat after he died. That's the seventh day of the week. And you see what they did. And you see right there, Shabbat is the seventh day of the week. But King James Version lied to you. They did. Okay? King James Version outright lied to you. You see the proof right there. You thought you had me, didn't you? You thought it said on the first day of the week, didn't you? But you're wrong. It is on the first, or it should say the next Sabbath. Okay. That was the first one after his death. Okay? But they put on there the first day of the week. That's not what it says on the first seventh day of the week. Oh, what a tangled web you Christians weave when you practice to deceive. You got caught in a lie. Yes, you did. And so your Sunday is an act, your Sunday worship is an act of violence against the Jews, who are the Kodesh, against Jehovah, who is the Abba and creator of them all, and against Yehoshua, because you claim that Yehoshua arose on the first day of the week, when clearly right here he rose on the seventh day of the week.